In spite of his father's lack of concern, the note troubled him. It could have been a prank, but he didn't think so. The boy had obviously been watching his home last night and Johnny at the river the other day. So why didn't he come out and introduce himself? Why all the secrecy? Might it have something to do with the cloth? After all, the day Johnny unintentionally stabbed Macduff, somebody had neatly folded the cloth while Johnny went for help. Could it have been the boy? Johnny was half a block down the road when he realized he had forgotten to wait for Emmy. It didn't matter. When he turned around, he saw her running toward him. He silently groaned, wishing he had gotten away. His father's mood had rubbed off on him, and he didn't want to talk to anyone. Still, maybe she would have some thoughts on the boy and the note. He held it up as she approached. However, it seemed Emmy was also not in the best of moods. When she got up to him, she barked, "Where did you disappear to last night?" Johnny was taken back by her tone, but he shrugged as if it were a silly question. "Home, of course," he said. "Well, it was kind of rude to take off without saying goodbye or thanking my folks for the party. They even commented about it." Johnny grind his teeth, holding back a barbed response. Instead, he managed to squeak out, "Sorry." "And why didn't you wait for me this morning?" "You always wait. I wanted to..." "I don't care what you wanted, Emmy. Why is everyone breathing down my neck?" He turned and started walking. Emmy stood stock still. She called out, "What's your problem?" But Johnny didn't answer. He took a left at the corner, away from the direction of school. He heard her call out one more time, "Where are you going?" He didn't know, but it didn't matter. He only knew he wasn't going to school. At dusk, Johnny sat on his bed, looking out his window. He had spent the day on a secluded bank of the Enoch River near his grotto, tossing rocks into the slow-moving water and watching the ripples float lazily downstream. He was still deep in thought when a knock at his door interrupted his contemplation. "John Avery?" Fiona said. "What is it, Fiona?" "May I come in?" "I'm kind of busy." The door opened and she entered anyway, then closed it quietly behind her. Johnny rose and faced her. "Fiona," he said, I'm really not..." "I got a call from the school this afternoon," she interrupted softly. "Mrs. Mona had informed me that you didn't show up for any of your classes today. She asked if you were still ill. I told her I don't know." She paused. "So, are you ill?" Johnny saw a mix of concern, disappointment, and anger in her eyes. He took a deep breath. "No, I'm not ill." "Then may I ask, where in the world were you all day?" Though her voice remained soft, her tone was sharp, and her green eyes bored right into him. "The river," he murmured. I guess I wasn't in the mood for school." She raised her eyebrows. "The mood? Is that what comes from you giving you permission to go trick-or-treating with your friends? You decide to do whatever your mood tells you to do." "No, I just have a lot of stuff going on right now, and I needed to get away from the stress and clear my head, that's all." He wrung his hand. "Probably wasn't the best choice I could have made." "No, it wasn't," she snapped. She also took a breath. and her face softened. "But I suppose I understand. Especially concerning there's something going on between you and your father." Johnny stopped and blinked. Going on?" She crossed her arms. "I'm not blind, John Avery. Your glow formula worked very well. I saw you pass something to your dad last night. And I saw him stuff it in his jacket before you went out." Johnny's heart sank. "Fiona, I can't tell you." She held a hand. "I neither want nor need to know about it. It's between you two. But I do need to know where you are during the day. Is that clear?" Lowered his eyes. "Yes, ma'am." And he said, "Wait, does this mean you haven't told Dad?" She frowned. "No, I haven't. Yet. But if it happens again..." "It won't," Johnny cut in. "See that it doesn't." She uncrossed her arms, turning and moved to the door. Supper'll be ready in 10 minutes." Johnny watched her open the door. This was the second time she had covered for him with his father. Remorse welled up in him. "Fiona?" She stopped. "Yes?" "I'm really sorry for all the trouble I caused you." She stepped to him, caressed his cheek, and tugged his ear gently. "You are a handful sometimes, John Avery," she smiled, "but I wouldn't have it any other way." She turned back to the door, slipped out, and closed it behind her. Johnny sighed deeply. His life seemed to be spiraling out of control, and something inside him said that things were only going to get worse. And my battery's about to die, so I'm gonna stop there.